Hello. I'm a bit of a mess right now. Not emotionally, don't worry, not at all. Just physically tired and a little bit injured, and I've been fighting the new background for over a week now. I started work on it like a week and a half ago, and I thought I was done with it on Friday, but revisions and revisions and revisions, and now I'm here, 6 days later than I should be. But there's a new background. There is more I hope to do with it. I'm not exactly done with it. But I don't know how to finish that sentence. I have more plans, is what I'm saying. And I think I should start thinking up what I'm going to do for a background in the fall ahead of time, really. Because a lot of my time was spent trying to figure out what it is I wanted to make. I got lucky with the first two just sort of coming to me as I randomly placed bits and bobs down. A cube there, an extrusion there. But this one I had to gather photo reference and think. And I fear that because the process behind it was so different, that the end result is also going to be tonally different from what I've put out already. But ultimately, my decision to make it the background gives it its place rather than the acceptance of it from the viewer, I think. At least that's how things come to be usually. Like, most people accept a lot of the terribly designed Generation 1 Pokemon, not because their designs are good or because anybody likes them, but because they've always been there. Right? And eventually this background, whether it's accepted or not, will become the it's always been there, and it'll blend in with the rest of them. Anyway, it's not something I'm stressing over, just a thought that came to my head while I was making it, and now, as I'm presenting it to you. As I'm recording, I actually can't see it in front of me, but I've got a good enough image in my head of what it looks like from the hours I spent labouring over it. All my lunch breaks this week were spent working on it. Rendering and re-rendering and restarting after crashes and then restarting after fighting the crashes and realising that the output isn't what I want at all and I have to make major revisions. Anyway, let's talk about... Let me actually pull up a picture of the thing so I can talk more specifically about what it is. And what it is an amalgamation of concepts. I knew from the beginning that I wanted a boat, but the nature of the the backgrounds thus far, they've been abandoned, sort of. Like, you look at them and they're lifeless, like, you don't think a person would be there. In the first one, it's completely desolate, sort of invaded by the cold weather, and then the second one is overgrown. Whether intentionally or not, it's not a place for any man, it's a place for the plants. So I wanted to sort of give, or represent that abandonment through this dilapidated tugboat. I've always sort of liked these little, like, World War I, World War II era tugboats. Some of them are made of metal, but a lot of them were made of wood. And they were just small fishing vessels, and countries had these in swarms before big fishing became much of a thing. Each of them ran on diesel, or some ran on steam. But they're cute, they're little, and they always had fun paint schemes. Most boats these days are just white, which is exceptionally boring. The world has, like, in terms of vehicles, has quite literally lost its colour. They don't colour things anymore. It's a shame. Something I notice as well is everybody's got either black shoes or white shoes. White shoes are the popular thing these days, and it just sort of, it's just so boring, because from more than like a foot away, you can't tell what brand it is, or not that it even matters at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what brand your shoes are, so long as they're comfortable, because they all look, when they're completely white, they all look the same from more than 2 feet away. So whenever I see the kids with the white shoes, I think, oh, are you really just trying that hard to fit in, or are you actually that boring? I get that they go with everything, but you could do better than just white. I don't know. It's a personal nitpick on the trends of society, I guess. Anyway, I'm not going to nag on that much longer here. What was I saying? Right. World has lost its colour. Right. So I put in the tugboat to represent that sort of abandonment, and I had a lot of fun making it, and then making it all dirty and dilapidated. Though it doesn't have any holes in it. And I spent way too much time trying to get the ocean to look good, and I only got halfway there. It loops, which was difficult, but I think there's still areas in which I could improve it, given more time. The structure itself is actually just a structure I saw, or a version of it I saw in an image I'd saved to my computer of, maybe it was AI generated, but it looked like some large seaside concrete structure in some wintry place, presumably Russia, with the constant, or not the constant, the years of snowmelt having dripped down the side of it, leaving streaking patterns down the side of the concrete, which don't show very well in the background you see now, due to the lighting and them not really being there, because there is no snow melting mine. It's summer. It's tropical-ish, maybe. I don't know. I didn't think that hard about it. But the composition of it itself was advised by a friend of mine who has a better understanding of composition than I do. I just sent him an early screenshot of the thing, and he painted over it like, you should make this big and frame this like this to get a more balanced composition. And I had adjusted the camera before he'd sent the paint over, and at the same time he sent the paint over, I sent a screenshot of the new camera position, and he went, yes, that exactly. We'd ended up with roughly the same thing going on, which was pretty funny. Anyway, enough about the background. I think I will, the rest of the channel, like the banner and the profile picture and such, will follow suit sooner rather than later. Maybe tomorrow or the day after. I'm quite busy. I have another commission lined up that I must work on, and that sort of takes priority. But it's a quick job, so maybe I'll take care of it tomorrow. I could just go on and on about the troubles I ran into with the background, even though I said I wouldn't talk about it too much. I thought I was done with it on Friday. I'm going to go on about it, I'm sorry. I thought I was done with it on Friday, right? I was rendering it overnight. And Blender has two rendering engines. One is called Cycles. It's a path tracer, meaning it calculates the light for every pixel, essentially. That's a gross oversimplification of it, but that's the gist of it. And then there's Eevee, which renders like a game engine in real time. So it theoretically renders a lot faster, depending on the complexity of effects and such. So I started making it in Eevee because I wanted it to render fast so I could iterate on it when I felt like spicing up the background for a video or something. So I rendered it overnight in Eevee, but my render times were quite long, and after getting those down and managing things and rendering overnight and then checking on it in the morning before work, I came to realize that there was a limitation with Eevee, and that is properly transparent objects. They don't work very well, and especially one like the water I was working with. It refused to reflect anything other than the sun, which looked jarring, to say the least. So I had to remake the water and then change rendering engines, which was a feat. And then I spent most of the weekend editing the water, editing the framing, editing the materials. I redid several materials on the thing. Re-rendering, test rendering, and then on Sunday night, on Sunday night I rendered out the first loop, which is very close to what you're seeing right now. And I checked on it in the morning, and there it was. I watched it once, and then went, okay, time to work on another version, because there's another version of it which I currently don't have, which I wanted to do. Now, I started rendering that before work, and just before I left for work, I noticed it crashed. So I started it again, and then went to work, and then checked on it on my lunch break, and it had crashed again, but it had gotten a little further. But because of the crashing, the video file that was outputting was getting corrupted, so I had to change the output mode and re-render from the start. And then after work, when I checked on it, it had crashed again about a third of the way through. No, not a third, just over halfway. Or maybe it was a third, I don't know. What's the halfway point between 1800 and 3600? Answer that for yourself, because that's where it kept crashing. Yeah, so it kept crashing, and I had to sort of babysit it after work, and then I got past the part where it was crashing, and it hadn't crashed for a bit, so I crossed my fingers and went to bed and hoped it would render overnight without crashing. And lo and behold, it did. And I had all the frames by morning. So, well, not by morning. I had all the frames almost next morning. I woke up quite early today. So all of that was done, and I could finally get on with it. So I go to stitch all the frames together into a usable video file, and I'm watching it, and I think, oh, that effect's not quite right. It's a little jarring, and then I sort of notice something that's off. I go, I wonder if that's off in the other file. So I go back to the video file, the first loop that I only checked once, and I watch it, and I loop it, and I realize that it doesn't loop at all. And I try to take it into editing to get it to loop by sort of cross-fading the two clips, and it does not work. So I have like 2 hours before work, and now I have to figure out how to make this thing loop and then render it again. That was today. So that's why it took so long. That's why this video is almost a week late. Well, probably about a week late. Now, outside of that, that's been the main focus of my days. I've been playing a bit of Minecraft in between, and lots of things have been happening in Minecraft. The Deep Dark. I've found that there is a Deep Dark biome under my house, and it seems to extend for miles and miles and miles. It seems to be the only one that anybody's found. in the entire map that we have. And again, I've yet to find the end of it. I'm still looking. I'm hoping the ancient city's down there, but it's not a guarantee. Regardless of Minecraft, other things that have been happening. Work has been taking a toll on my body again. Yay! My limbs hurt quite a bit, but more specifically my feet. I've been trying to break in new work boots, but they are extremely stiff, and I'm having to wear 3 pairs of socks in 32-degree Celsius heat in an attempt to reduce the pain that they cause me. This is the 3rd time I've tried to break them in, and I'm really hoping it will be the last, because they are well over their return date. I don't even have the box. Speaking of boxes, while applying band-aids to my feet on account of the blisters that I'm getting from these boots, I sort of consciously acknowledged the container that we keep all of the bandages and medical creams and such in my house. It's a little plastic chest, so with a hinge lid, right? With a printed sort of sticker of characters from Winnie the Pooh on it. I think it's Pooh and Eeyore. And on the top, sort of moulded into the plastic lid, it says, oh, what does it say? I don't quite remember what it says. I think it starts with an H. It's a popular brand of children's diapers. This container has been in my house for as long as I can remember, and was presumably a container that came with wipes or diapers for me and my brothers when we were babies. And the container never broke or deteriorated, so it's just sort of stuck around. And upon consciously acknowledging this, the presence of this container that is likely as old as I am, I came to realize that there are a number of containers around my house that are containers and objects that are very similar. There is a hand mirror, well, not a hand mirror, it has a little stand, but you can hold it in your hand, in my bathroom right now. It's like a lavender purple, and it is older than me by 40 years. It was my grandmother's, according to my mother. I had always assumed it belonged to my oldest brother, because that's the first time I'd ever seen it, he was using it. So I just assumed he'd bought it, but no. It could be over 50 or 100. No, not over 100, less than 100, but still quite old. Why is my laptop making that noise? The laptop is usually making noises like that because it's running complex things and such. So when I'm recording, I usually unplug it, but it was being suspiciously quiet when I decided to start recording. So I thought, oh, well, maybe I don't have to unplug you this time. But to my dismay, it just began acting up. So, unplugged. I'm going to have to plug it back in when I start editing though. Anyway. So, back to the containers thing. There are a handful of other wooden boxes that sort of blatantly shout their age at you just by their design, that I can consciously acknowledge as perhaps gifts from somebody at some point, or maybe they were bots, but look around wherever it is you find yourself, whether that be in shops or in a home, yours or somebody else's, and see if you can't find a container like that, of seemingly unknown origin and age, and see if anybody knows where it came from, or just try to find out yourself through thorough investigation of the thing. You might have fun, who knows? Short little thing here. I've come to the realization that I like using a lot of text faces, and I think they're a lot more fun and, to me, real. They're more real than any emoji. I find people who use a lot of emojis to be quite strange, and I can never really trust a thing they say in text. But people using text faces, just like colon brackets, I find a lot more trust in that. But there's a number of them that you end up reading out loud when you see them, like oo or oo or XD. People would say XD out loud a lot. Funnily enough, I've found people saying colon P out loud, which is odd, or colon D. I think I'm guilty of that one. Because it makes no sense to somebody who doesn't understand. If anybody can picture those, what's the word? That text in their head, then they might understand what you're saying. Oh, my throat's gunking up again. And my nose is dry. Why? Maybe I am sick. And I just don't know it. Anyway, other ones I read aloud. Hi WI. Every time I see it, it's just iwi. My stomach is grumbling. But yeah, that one, every time I see it, I read it as iwi. It still gets the crying thing across, but it's iwi. I feel like some people make that noise. Small creature crying. There are other faces that have like noises I associate in my brain with them. Like somebody who's completely aghast, that's right arrow, colon, oh wait, no, that's incorrect. No, right arrow, colon, capital U. Somebody going, what? No. Like they're upset, confused. A special type of anger, not rage. And then just colon V is like, it's just the noise I hear when I see it. It's very stupid. Colon lowercase o is o. or ooh, that word ooh, right? That colon capital O is oh, like gasping, like oh my god, amazing, or oh my god, really? There's a lot of versatility with these. Colon T looks like somebody going right, sort of like puffing up one cheek. I doubt there's any undiscovered ones. But it would be crazy if somebody did like come up with new ones. It's hard to say. I don't know. It's hard to say. Anyway. I'm thinking, because it's been a week, I should play a song at the very least, but I don't know what fits. If I hadn't played Seaside last week, I would play it right now because it fits. Right? We're at the seaside. Do you want to go to the seaside? I'm not saying that everybody wants to go. But I don't know. There's a number of Cage the Elephant songs I could try to do a quiet version of. Cage the Elephant has very aggressive, grating vocals. I love Cage the Elephant, but I don't think their main guy's a particularly good singer in any definition of the word. That's the garage rock sound. You know, I want to try doing Telescope. Why not? Let's see if we can do Telescope. This might take me a minute. This is going to be completely unedited. It's from the chords. Find the chords, grab the guitar. Oh, there's a tab as well. Oh, the tab's on notices. I think we can work with that. What is... Okay. So let me just get the mic down as low as it can go. Alright. Let's try it. In a far and distant galaxy, inside my telescope, I see a pair of eyes peer back at me. He walks and talks and looks like me. Sits around inside his house from room to room. He moves about, fills his life with pointless things and wonders how it all turns out. Do 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 do. Half messed up. Do 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 do. It's safe to say that I don't think you understand. Oh well, wasted. Afraid of what the truth might bring. He locks his doors and never leaves. Desperately searching for signs, terrified to find a thing. Latins all the hatches down, and wonders why he hears no sounds. Frantically searching his dreams, he wonders what it's all about. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. It's safe to say that I don't think you understand. So well, let it turn. The walls keep breaking. Time is like a leaf in the wind. Either it's time I spent or a time I've wasted. And this bit of the song, there's like an epic guitar solo or something. I'm just gonna have to play it out. Here am I, losing my friends, follow my face, do it again. You say, how do you do? Man, how about you? Man, how about you? To be free, to be sold, to be killed, to be sad. In my head, I'm alone, I'm not dead, I'm ashamed, just like you. I've been trying to escape. In my bones, I feel cold. I give thanks to the Lord. In the street, let me go, let me be. I don't need to be here. I'm alone. Can't you see? Can't you see? I don't think you understand. Fuck. Hold on. I don't think you understand. There's nowhere left to turn. Walls keep breaking. Time is like a leaf in the wind. Either it's time well spent or time well wasted. That last bit's a bit awkward because in the actual song he's just sort of yelling. Like, here am I, losing my friends, follow my face, do it again, you say how do you do? And it's like, it's not singing at all, but because of the build-up from the guitar solo, it hits pretty hard and is like, it's big. I really like it. It's very good. That I'm sort of in the mood, I guess. I could end it off on a cave town, I'm thinking. Let me just make sure I haven't, like, which cave towns I've played. Night Apples back in North California. No, that's the one. I played California. This is home. I've got my friends. Okay, yeah, we can probably do some of those. Oops. I'm like actively checking. I made another playlist that I can update whenever I play a new song, so I can keep track of what I do know how to play. well, not what I have played on here before, and it would be in chronological order, so I can know how far back as well. Light Knuckles, is that the one I think it is? Is that Light Knuckles or? No, it's Light Knuckles. Oh, it is the one I thought it was. This is one of the first songs I learned to play and sing at the same time, believe it or not. The intro is a bit difficult to play, but you get the point, I think. You have to hit the harmonics, that's what these are. Harmonics are very interesting. I have no idea how it works physics-wise, but on certain frets, rather than pressing the string down, you hover your finger just ever so lightly on top of the string, over the fret. 12th fret, 9th fret, 5th fret, not 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret. That sort of only works for the others. The most famous use of this is in Roundabout by I've forgotten the name. Hang on, I'm googling this. Yes, the band is called Yes, and it was used as the ending song for part 1 and 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the anime. It's hard to do without a pick. It doesn't ring out quite the same. Anyway, I don't know how to play it actually. But the intro to Light Knuckles uses the same thing. 977. Now sadly, there's only one of me with one guitar. Or rather, I can only play one guitar at a time. So that sort of repeating harmonic pattern layers on top of this. Which I don't know if it continues for the whole song. At the very least for the intro until the chords take over. But I've just remembered this song's slightly out of my vocal range, but we'll try. It's fine. song is another Cave Town song. Won't be the sadness of didn't hit me until I started playing it on guitar myself and really read into the lyrics, which I most definitely got wrong. But most of his songs are very sad. I actually do want to try doing Meteor Shower. That's my cape on. It's back there. Meteor Shower is actually done on a ukulele. Up to like the 5th fret. Right, 7th. Not too much. 9th. Let's not mess with the cape just to try and make it sound like the original. My voice won't do it anyway. Fully talent. What is that? Hold on. Weird chord. So let's see. Okay, well, I'll try it. Fuck. Something about this seems like it was done wrong. Tone of voice is not good at all. I've got miles of regrets and confusing friends. Miles of regrets and confusing friends, but perhaps it's just my stupid head in the end thinking, should I wait here or make my way when you say go? Making up problems that don't exist. Why do I let myself dream like just on the one fret. What do the comments say? Comments say nothing. We'll just keep going, I guess. Anyway. Missing pieces of my sky. Some patches of my own soul. There's nothing more I can do. So let the stars fall from up here. The skies will fall. So small. Frick. I don't like this chord. It doesn't seem right. It seems like they're out of place. Quick, take cover, but the human has gone blue. I've gone lost and one another. It's rose for sapphire stones. Is your favorite color? Missing pieces of my skull. Have some patches of my own soul. There's nothing new. So let the stars fall from up here. The skies will lost good, so small. It starts with love and it ends with you. But don't go outside, it's dangerous tonight without me right here by your side. Take it slow, you'll know which way to go. Sew up your skull, take your time, will be just fine. Go have some patches of my own soul. I do love the chorus of that one. I remember, oh Jesus, I made a lot of noise. I remember when I was in high school and had a partner, a girlfriend, what have you. What have me? I remember hearing the lyric in the song. I'd sell my own bones for sapphire stones because blue is your favourite colour. And that to me sort of spoke to a romance I sought to achieve. But, well, it didn't end very well, did it? Anyway, apologies for the semi-botched songs. I haven't practiced either of these in I don't even know when. But, I think I nailed the chorus for both of them, so that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to attempt to edit this together. I don't know if I'll have the energy to do so. So if I don't, I'm going to have to edit it tomorrow, and then so on, right? It'll be uploaded later. Regardless, if you fell asleep during this, despite the extreme amount of noise I just made, well done, and sweet dreams. Do not dream of your ex-girlfriend coming back and saying she loves you, because that will make you write a very bad song. Dream of happier things. If you're dozing off and I took you off guard there, fine. It's hard to call a Freudian slip when it was completely voluntary, but apologies, and I hope you rest well. Find something softer to listen to. Something I find that has worked before, and in fact worked for me when I was unable to sleep because there were mice running throughout my walls. Put music on a speaker at a very low volume, like barely audible. Put on Cave Town or something that won't get too crazy. A nice low volume. Find a nighttime playlist. Just put it on there and see if that doesn't help you. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed after I maybe edit this. Yeah, good night, bye bye.